Mortimer had just finished his shopping trip at the market, book in hand, and was happily heading home with his newly purchased products. Little did he know what awaited him along the way that day. As he was passing a rundown and abandoned lab, a strange sound caught his attention. Startled, Mortimer forced his gaze upward and saw something falling from the ceiling towards him. Before he could react, it had already made contact with his arm. He recoiled in horror, for what he had uncovered was far from a pleasant sight. It was a large metallic object smeared with rust and green goo, and upon closer inspection, it bore a symbol resembling that of a skull and crossbones. Strangely enough, the only thing that seemed to be running through Mortimer's mind at the time was the phrase, Experiment 666. The next thing he knew, there was a blinding light, and suddenly, Mortimer was no more. To this day, he is said to haunt the old lab. People have seen a figure covered in leaves and dirt sitting in one of the chambers, apparently unmoving. Needless to say, only those brave enough to venture into the laboratory dare speak of what they saw. Whether the figure is truly alive or a ghost from the past is still a mystery, but one thing is certain, that figure is now appropriately known as Experiment 666. Roy was driving Pete's steamboat on a trip to the airport. About 7 miles later, he approached the mountains thinking it might be a shortcut, so he went the mountain way. After about 14 minutes, Roy had lost his way and had to hop off the steamboat and explore the mountains. As he climbed to the top of a mountain, Roy discovered an island that looked like something he saw in the 60s. He swam towards it and eventually made it onto the island. That's when he knew he was on Vietnam Island. He was curious and walked slowly around the rocks, passing by the body of Mason, who had also ventured there. A few minutes later, he was suddenly confronted by a fight that looked like him. The figure had no eyes and blood coming from them. Roy had become another unfortunate victim of the Vietnam War. In the grassy hills, there was a country club not too far off, and it was where Marcos, a happy and curious mouse, called home. He liked to watch TV, but he was often annoyed with his brother McGrawlo, who was always doing strange things. One day, Marcus decided to go for a nice stroll. And after a while, he stumbled upon an old-looking house, which turned out to be a trap. In the corner of the room, he noticed a note scrawled on a piece of paper that said, "Whoever reads this will be burning inside." Curious, Marcus took the note as a reminder and headed back to his clubhouse. When Marcus arrived, he was met with a gruesome sight. His house was on fire. In a daze, Marcus stumbled closer to the flames when out from the bushes McCrawler appeared and snapped his neck before Marcus could do anything. McCrawler then took Marcus' body to a nearby hill and left it there. As Marcus burned with the flames, McCrawler started to laugh manically, and the fire grew to a frightening intensity, until it had completely consumed the hill and Marcus' home. With nothing left, all that was left of Marcus was a charred and badly burnt corpse.